Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network. It's your favorite baby boomer, R. Payne here. Hey, listen. So I'm gonna keep it light tonight. I'm gonna try to. I know everybody has been looking at the balloon show, the dating show, and stuff like that. So I got a couple of clips, and the title of this particular one is "Black Women Are Intimidated by Purpose-Driven Black Men." Now, some of you who've been with us a couple of months ago know I did one almost exactly the opposite. The show, the sister Arlette, whatever her name is, and courtesy to her because she does this show, dating show, better than anybody else. So we had a beautiful chocolate chip black woman came out, everything going for her. 29, no children, professional dreams, articulate, beautiful smile, banging body, the whole nine yards. And we saw a whole panel of men wilt like cheap freaking suits in her presence. And I was so disappointed in mankind. I didn't know what to do. And the guys who came up, we had a nice laugh at these guys. And finally, the last dude got his balloon back, and he was taller than her because she had to be at least 5'7", 5'8". He was a tall dude, and they would mesh in any kind of relationship if his head was on right. And he got his balloon back, and they went off into the sunset. It'd be nice to see what happened with that couple if they meshed. But she was just banging. And the main purpose of why I put that one on 2 months ago, and you can go back through the network videos and find it 2 months ago, is that when the narrative that there's no marriageable black women left in America, I call that bullshit. And I'm always call it bullshit. It doesn't matter how old I get. I'm gonna say it till the day I die. Even if there's one left, even if there's one, there's at least 30% of the sisters out there, whether they hide around the ratchet ones or not, doesn't matter. And anything worth having is worth fighting for. And the guys who are too fucking lazy to go find a good woman, that's on you. But anyway, she was one, and she proved it to everybody. So now we got the reverse. Today, we're going to look at two black men who, one is a professional, he's a doctor, and the other one is the plumber everybody's talking about. So if you've been on these YouTube streets, people have been talking about the plumber. He's all buffed up and all that kind of stuff. But I don't necessarily want to get into what happened to him after the show. But at first, I want to analyze how people reacted to both of these guys, how the women reacted to these guys. Men standing up in their stature, holding their Johnsons and saying, either you want this or you don't. And I don't care if you don't, I'll find the next woman. And a lot of these women were wilting and going into their catty nature and all that other horse shit because a man looked in their eyes and say, not me. You're not going to give me that black girl magic bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You want a man like me, you're going to have to work for it. And I don't think a lot of these women were up for that. So I want to, and that's why we need some women to get brave enough to come up here and challenge what they see too. I don't want this just to be the man thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to have a little bit of fun tonight, and we can get into all the serious conversation and all that kind of stuff. Reckless, what's going on, Reckless? What's up, Mrs. O? And then who else is there? Okay, Rebel, what's going on? Paul Bennett, you're in here. And listen, like I said, I'm a staunch guy saying I don't like the narrative that there's no good black women left. Not because I want to pine for black sisters. They're a pain in my ass too. But the point it really is that if it's only 30% of them, as a scientist, as an engineer, in all my training, 30% is a statistically significant amount of women. Now, if it was down to 3%, then I can see you guys boo-boo whining and crying. But at 30%, anything worth having is worth searching for. That's what I'm thinking, And it was the same back in my day. It's the same now. You just might have to work a little harder. So what? Woo-hoo, wipe your tears and shit and get to work. But anyway, so BMU accused me of being like long-winded and shit. And I hate that because I sit on these panels and I see guys, giving full-fledged soliloquies and shit. Nobody ever tell them to land a plane. So, hey, okay, all right. You can say, Mrs. O, Okay, well, your family is. I'll be moving around. Alyssa, okay, you're driving home. Listen, as long as you're listening, I'm all in. That's fine. Anyway, so and you don't have to wait for me to finish talking. If y'all want to come up or get on the audio and review these tapes with me while we go through it, that'll be better. That'll be better for me too, other than me just rattling off at the jibs. So I don't mind having company as early as possible, and we can watch some of these tapes all together. Now the plan is the first guy we're going to look at is a dentist, and we're going to kind of skip through his thing and talk to these ladies, see what they say, because we got a little bit of time, and see how the ladies react to him. And I don't just want you to critique the ladies. You could critique how he is behaving as well. So when we get to that, that'll be cool. Okay. Oh, okay, PMU, I'll do that, man. I'm not, I ain't concerned about that. Hey, listen, anybody who wants to donate to the show, my Cash App is in the stream down there. But, well, all I'm going to do is buy some alcohol with it anyways. Now I'm only joking. Listen, I'd appreciate any donations you can give. That's fine. Other than they'll just show me that you appreciate what I do, and I'd be happy. So I'm not giving the money back. So if you give it to me, I'm keeping it. How about that? Anyway, but like I said, anybody who wants to come up as we go through these videos, and BMU, if the first video is ready, let me know. I'm gonna look in the back chat, and then we can get going. If it's loaded, we can get started right away, and then people could come up and say, "Damn, this guy's goofy," or "This guy is, this is what these ladies always say they want." Now they're faced with this guy, and they're pretty much, falling short of all the shit that they say because the guy's not a simp. The guy is not a wimp. It's a guy that they can't control. It's a guy that they can't. So it's going to be really interesting because I would admit something to begin with. Both of these guys, just like me, are not flaw. They're not without flaw. Let's put it to that way. However, that's not really the real point, at least not to me. Because when these women get on these YouTube streets and talk about that there's no real men, they don't have any money, they're dusty and busty and all this horse shit, right? But when faced with a guy who has all the things they want, but he's not a simp, he's not a pussy, they don't know what to do with him. They're not going to be able to walk in. This is the Ebony K. Williams syndrome. She didn't want a man because she couldn't control the kind of man she wants, right? So she's on a lot of women on this fairy tale. I want you to have all these attributes, but I also want you to be a pussy as well. And some guys ain't having that. Some guys are saying, yo, listen, you want me? There's something you have to give me in return. That's respect. And sometimes just shut up. You know what I'm saying? So some guys are like that. And that's cool. And so we're going to see how these ladies react to these guys. And you know what? And some of them, okay, I'll be a little bit fair. Some of the ladies push back because a couple of these guys, push pretty hard on them too. But I don't care. It's good to see some of them take a little bit of their own medicine and go away empty-handed. So real men don't waste childbirth trash. I mean, even if they ain't trash, if they're not, they could be trash. But even if they're not trash, I think some good women lose out on good men because they've been brainwashed. They've been brainwashed to think that it's a woman's world. It's not. It's not. Hey man, dirty folks, what's going on, man? What's happening? How you doing? Listen, you got to come up and give me some of your opinions when you get home. Hopefully, get home in time. Being nice is not being a simp. Well, listen, you know what? I think black women have turned a nice word into a simp. We have enough women saying that I don't want a nice guy. If sometimes being nice is not enough. You know what I'm saying? So you guys are like cognitive dissonance and schizophrenia and all that shit just runs rampant with what women want, So And I guess sometimes it's just fun navigating that, by the way. You know, it really is. It's a challenge, you know. So I told my wife the other day, you know, because she's not involved in any of this, but I told her the other day, you know what I tell people, because they said, well, you're old, you're gray and shit and all that kind of stuff. You know, I can shave this off and look like a baby again. But I said, I told they, because they think I'm out of touch, and I'm not. I really ain't, you know, because I got two young women and my daughters. And I told my wife, listen, just because my wife married me 37 years ago, she never stopped being a woman. She's been a woman every single second that I've known her, with all the shit that comes with it, and the beauty, and all that other kind of stuff. So I've been navigating, if it's only one woman, I've been navigating women for my whole life. So you miss me with that. I don't know what I'm talking about stuff. And he just missed me. Anyway, all right. I'm with you, BMU. I hear you. So listen, like I said, whether you're coming on the radio, I mean, whether you're coming over the airwaves or you're going to show yourself on the panel, we're going to get started. When we get started in a few minutes, we'll get started together. Yeah, and this being nice is not being a simp, but it still don't get you nowhere. Hardly. You know, you just got to be who you are in those circumstances. And if people call you nice, then you take it. But you got to make sure you harden your heart and you don't leave yourself butt naked out there, you know, especially with the women of today. Probably with the women of yesteryear, too, by the way. You know, so, because even back then, you know, the narrative that, you know, good women were just walking up to you and saying, hey, I'm a good woman. You know, why don't you marry me? That's just that. It was never true. You know, I got married in 1987, but the sexual revolution started in 1960. So it was going on hot and heavy and shit by the time I got married, right? You know, men, even in the West back then, was you know, lucky jackpot to find a woman who was a straight up virgin and didn't have sex with somebody. So, you know, like again, miss me with all that. You know, you had so much beautiful women to choose from. I just happened to find one because I was looking for it. I was looking for it. And you know, and listen, I'm gonna just say this before we get started. When I met my wife, I was just looking for a woman I could hold hands with in public. Somebody I wasn't trying to be a sneaky link and didn't want somebody else not to say. I just wanted a woman I can hold hands with and say, this is my honey. That's what I was looking for, even back in 1987. So all this horse shit about everything's new and women just got invented because it's the internet era, it's 2000. I just tell everybody, just keep missing me with that shit, man. It's bullshit. It just is. You know, just got better tools. That's all. Anyway, let me see. Are we ready? Let's work on the chat. Let's see who's in the chat. Okay, let's put up. Hey, good evening, Paul. Mrs. O, chat. Marriage, politics, and sports. That's me, right? One. LOL. Okay, Reckless. What's going on, man? Who else is in the chat, man? Who else is in it? There's a lot of people in here. There's a Reckless. I'm talking to people. I'm seeing you come up. Just pop them up there. Dirty folks, how you doing? I hope you're staying around, man. Be interesting what you say. Hey, Corey Hager. Is it Hager or Hager? You know, whatever. Payne. So what's the old guy talking about today? Well, stick around and you'll find out. We're talking about the balloon show, and we're going to show how women are intimidated by purpose-driven men. And it's true. And after we finish looking at it today, it'll be nice to hear your opinions, and just keep it coming in the chat. You know, have a talk besides yourself. Anybody wants to come up, and we could watch it together, just like, you know, in the panel, and everybody get a chance to talk as opposed to me just rattling off at the jibs like I like to do. Since this is the only time I could be long-winded, I have to have my own show to be able to be long-winded. Everybody else is kicking me off. What they call it, sniping. You know, I think people have spent at least $1,000 over the year kicking me off the panels and shit. So, what can you say? Hey, Eda Man Williams, what's happening, man? Are you sticking around? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do want to see you, brother. You damn right. Yeah, man. You got a nice. Your kung fu is terrible, but at least you try to throw some blows. You know, that's cool. You know, so yeah, if you're around, stick around. I do want to see you. I'm outside. I hit the panel once I get back in. Okay, yeah, okay, dirty folks. That'll be cool. We're gonna be here for a little while. We got to like 9 o'clock and stuff because, and after that's embrace the grace, who's always gonna bring the fire. So that's good. All right, so shoot, man. Hey, man, what's going on, Corey? How you pronounce your last name? Are you there?
Yeah, you remember the old Sega movie or video game or whatever?
Sega.
Yeah,
So it's Hager.
Haga.
Hager. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
That's cool. I just wanted to make sure I get it right. So what you got, man? You know what we're getting ready to see, right? Have you ever watched the balloon show?
You know, I've been out of the loop since last December, so I'm not sure.
All right, so let's just stick around. It's a dating show, right? Where they'll have a guy come out. It's flip-flop. So this one, a guy comes out, and it's like a line of honeys, and they have balloons. And
oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? If they like the guy, they keep the balloon. If they don't, they pop it. Then they start talking to each other. That so it's interesting dynamics. Some of the shows are worse than others. Some of them are better, of course. But this show, in particular, I chose 2 shows where the men have something going for them. And it's interesting to see how the women who clamor over and over on these panels on how there's no good black men and all this bullshit that they keep spewing. They're confronted with a guy with 2 men who have something going for them, and their reaction to these guys are absolute craziness. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? So stick around, man. Stick around for that because that'll be good. What's up, Eda Man?
What's up? Can you hear me? Or it sounds like my mic is off?
I hear you.
All right, cool. I just came up to see you do some live. I thought this was my time to beat up on the old man one-on-one. I see Corey here. I've been looking to beat up on this old man for a long time.
You know what, man? You up here, don't worry about it. You get your chance. But the problem is that this particular live is something where the focus ain't on me.
I got you. I know.
You know, but however, go ahead, man. What you got?
Before we get into the video, so you believe black women are intimidated by dudes that's on their purpose? Is that kind of the gist of what you're saying?
I'm saying yes. That they're listen. Now we're talking about most. Yes, the answer is yes. I believe that black women, the modern black women in general, are intimidated by purpose-driven black men. Unless their heads are on straight, and a lot of sisters' heads are not on straight. And I'm gonna prove it to you with these 2 videos.
I got you. But we gonna get into it. So my first question that I gotta ask you is, why are the purpose-driven black men ending up with these women if they're intimidated by them?
I didn't say that all women.
Well, give me a percentage. I'm sorry. What percentage do you think are intimidated?
Well, I say that, okay, let me clarify one thing. Intimidation doesn't mean that they don't eventually acquiesce to the men that they want. That's one. And 2, I just think they got to go through a growing process in order to say, you know what? This man is the kind of man I want, and I'm going to have to take what he's given me if I really want him. And sometimes that takes growth. And a lot of women don't have that growth. So if they really want that guy, they're going to have to take that what comes with them. So in the beginning, they could be intimidated until they get a revelation that, you know what? If I want that kind of guy, I can't be the kind of girl I used to be. Yes, that's it. You asked me what
I think they're actually inspired by men that's on their purpose. I think it's an inspirement. It's like, because it's funny in this space, we talk about these women want the top 20% of the men. These are typically men on their purpose. For you to be a part of that top 20%, you're on your purpose. And we say that the women want those men. And now we're painting that they're intimidated by the men that they want, that quote unquote they're supposed to be sharing. I think it's just a whole bunch of points that we're trying to put together. I don't think intimidated by them is the right word if they want them. But that's just my opinion. Let's get into the video.
No, but No, you gotta finish. No, I'm not. I'm not really arguing with you because I'm like I told you. I believe there's layers to it. I do. I just think that let's take Ebony K. Williams for example. She's a woman who could be intimidating to men. Correct?
Sure.
She talks about it herself that the men that she wants they can't even get a Woody with her. She said that out of her own mouth. And she said that they don't want a woman like her because she wants to be the fucking boss, right? And in order for her to have a man that of her statute, she has to realize that she can't just walk over this dude. And she's not willing to make that compromise. So she went and bought some sperm. And that's what she did, man. She said this shit out of her own mouth.
Yeah, but see, I get what you're saying, but when you use the word intimidate, we talking about
the word intimidation. Look up the word intimidation.
Oh, you mean look it up? But before I respond, hold on.
I should have had that ready. I should have had that ready.
You should have had it ready. See, I told you. I know y'all hold these women accountable over here, but guess what? I'm gonna hold y'all men accountable. Don't worry, I got you.
But before you let's go on. 2 months ago, I did the exact opposite. I had a beautiful black sister up there. You go back to BMU's archives. 2 months ago was the same opposite. This sister came out. She was awesome. And you should have seen the men wilt like cheap suits in the face of this woman. I couldn't believe it. We made a whole show out of that thing. We were just so. First of all, they made us feel. I didn't feel bad, but the men were down bad that day.
I got it, but you see, I thought I was using this word correctly. It was I thought we was talking about like felt threatened by, right?
No,
that's part. No, that's part of intimidated.
You're right. You're right. You're right. But that's not what I meant.
All right. So this is the point that I'm trying to. I don't think they're intimidated because people that you're intimidated at, you ain't barking back at, you ain't in their face, you're not doing those type things. If I was intimidated of you, our Payne, I'm not going to do things that can actually cause me to trigger you.
No, I hear you, but there's more than just one little definition for intimidation. You didn't go to the B and the C part. But the point I'm saying is this level of intimidation that doesn't make people fight. There's people who fight when they're intimidated as well. So, and I'm saying we're going to see a little bit of all of that, right? You know, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm thinking, right? Because the women themselves say, I want a guy over 6 feet. I want a guy who's in shape. I want a guy who has money. This guy's a doctor. And he comes out and you should see. But the guy's a little bit of the guy has his own quirks too. And I'm sure you're going to pick it up so you can have your point. But you know what I'm saying? It's ready. Hey, anytime you're ready, BMU, drop that first, I guess from the minute 31 or something, whatever I gave you.
You want to play it all the way through? So don't.
No. We're gonna stop it every so often, every 3 or 4 minutes.
All right.
And so we could have some commentary.
He's back.
Ooh. All right. If we can have your name.
That was so fast. I was not expecting that.
What's your name, sir?
Hi, my name is Dr. Elam.
And Dr.
Y'all know
Elam,
who I am?
How old are you?
That's not fair.
Dr. Elam, how old are you?
I'm 39.
Okay, all right. Now, we do see you pointed out Dr. Elam. What kind of doctor are you? What do you do?
Yeah, I'm a dentist. So actually, please forgive me for my attire. I had an emergency earlier and I had to rush here, so I didn't have time to change. She's not even looking at my face. Okay, so I am a traveling dentist. I travel up and down the West Coast, pulling teeth and placing implants for those who need it.
Okay, all right. Now, what do you look for in a woman?
What I look for in a woman is pretty universal, and I'm not sure if it's been explained this way, but I'm going to try. There's 3 things that every man wants, and if you do these 3 things, you can procure any man that you want. And this isn't my information that I just came up with. This is actually research-based, and the first thing is being useful. How can you be useful to the person in your life? Why is that important? Because when you are a useful asset to the man that you want to be, then there is no way that he's ever going to want to get rid of you. The second thing is you have to blow his mind in the bedroom. What does that mean? That means You take the wildest, nastiest thing that you've ever done, figure out the wildest, nastiest thing that he's ever done, and exceed that. Otherwise, he can just get it from somewhere else. Now, the third thing, and this thing is the most important thing. It doesn't matter if you do the first two things. If you don't do this last thing, then you won't be able to keep your man, and that is respect. Always respect your man. Now, if you have any confusion as to what respect is, say to yourself, would I say this to the person who is writing my checks? Would I say this to my boss? And if you wouldn't, don't say it to your man.
Hey,
So-
DMU, can you stop it right there?
I'm looking for those three things.
Okay.
Can you
So,
walk
Dr.
us
Elam,
right
we
there,
did have
BMU?
you on episode 2 of Pop the
Anybody
Balloon and
back
Find
there?
Love. And also in the Get to Know with you, we found out that, it didn't really work out too much with your match. What happened there?
Well, we decided that we wanted different things in life. We had a great conversation. We went to dinner. I thought that she was first class.
All right. Is it halted? We lost the sound. Okay. So I wanted to go on the first three things. So we stop it there. What do you think about the first three things, either man or Corey? Go ahead. Either one of y'all. Go ahead.
Did you hear
I guess-
how fast them balloons popped?
Go ahead. Yeah,
You hear
come
that?
after them. You come after them, either man. Go ahead, Corey. Go ahead and speak.
Well, I was just wondering. I mean, the man walked up there, and what they're looking for is not somebody who's doing their best. They want somebody that's got like a couple felonies or something. They're looking for Mr. Excitement. It's funny because they want. I mean, have you ever heard Jordan Peterson talking about women and their pornographic fantasies? They want to tame the beast. They want the vampire, the billionaire. They want somebody that is dangerous that they can tame. And this guy looks like, he just left his mama's breakfast table. That's why they don't like him. They don't like him because he's too perfect, and they know they're not.
Okay, before you go on, what do you think about his three things that he said?
I think he was spot on.
Okay.
I think he was 100% spot on because that's what men want, but women don't give a damn what men want anymore. It's all about what they want. I mean, I'm the youngest of three brothers. I'm 54. We're all divorced and single, and there are no good possibilities out there worth even wasting my time with.
That's crazy.
Okay, go ahead, either man. Go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right. So first of all, this doctor have had a very public breakup, and they know who he is.
Yeah, I know that. Okay.
All right. So the idea of they're popping the balloons because they want some thug. No, they have seen publicly what a woman went through, and in their mind, they're saying that they don't want to go through that breakup again. So first of all, can we acknowledge that they're not popping it because they want a thug? It's because they know who he is.
I acknowledge. But before you start, what do you know about this guy before? You seen him previously before?
I have saw him. I don't know the whole story. I know that he was kind of not really a dating show. This is what I know. I know that he was with someone. They publicly broke up. It wasn't the greatest breakup.
Okay.
She's about to cover that. So they had a public breakup, and women didn't like how he broke up with her.
As usual, right? They always take the women's side. So that
Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you what women did.
all right. So what do you think about his three things? What do you think? But
Absolutely.
I like that feeling. Go ahead.
I think his three things was on point. I think those. I think the sex comment is depend on the person, because a lot of people might not want to do those freaky things with their wife. They want to do those type things with their mistress. Maybe just how they view their wife, but that's, I think, a personal preference. But I think it was spot on. I don't think they. So I want to go on record. I don't believe they popped the balloon for what he's saying. I think it's their past interaction of seeing him.
Oh yeah, especially before he said something. So they know him, and he even alluded to the fact that I'm back. He said, I'm back. Right?
Indeed, we gotta be mindful that the one person, the biggest, the fluffiest, who still got her balloon.
The big bag. Let's continue. Let's continue.
But ultimately, we decided to just be friends and just support each other along our journeys.
Okay. Sounds good. So we did get a couple of pop balloons here. Let's go over to some of these ladies and see what's going on.
Please, let's.
All right, let's start here. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Brenda. I'm 36.
Okay.
The reason why I popped, very good looking man. Well put together. You're in the dentistry world. That's amazing. I'm sure your love language is acts of service, since you are in the dentistry world. But the way you answered that question.
Actually, my love language is physical touch.
Oh.
And quality time.
Oh.
And words of affirmation.
I see that you like to interrupt.
I
think
apologize. I apologize.
It's best that I did pop that balloon. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Oh,
Now,
pause there.
is Brenda someone that's your type?
You know, I actually don't know enough about her to make a valid decision on that, but I love the dress. You have a gorgeous smile. Love what you've done with your makeup and your hair. You're, awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
So
thank
wanna
you.
put
Let's
the
go over
tip?
here. If we
man,
can
what
have
you
your
got
name.
going on? Give me a couple ones. Okay, go ahead. What you got to say?
First of all, this woman is delusional. Listen. I tell you this right here. First of all, she's delusional. Like, so this is what I tell people is that women actually do you a favor when they disqualify you. Yeah, I promise you, it does you a favor. Her whole conversation about, hey, she miscategorized him and said, hey, this is your love language, and I don't know you, which is crazy. For somebody who never really had a conversation with you and says, because you chose this job, that means that this is your love language, is completely crazy. That's
So what did you think about him interrupting her?
He should have.
Okay.
I'm down for that. Listen, if it's just like R. Payne, if I say based off what you said, R. Payne, it seems like you like me, and you better interrupt me because that shit ain't true. So
Exactly.
So no, I believe if somebody's misquoting you in real time, it's no problem for you to be able to stop them in real time. And she said that she don't want to be interrupted. Cool. I think he did himself a favor. I think that's more like a ruthless type woman. So that's the one ruthless like. So we're gonna leave that.
Yeah. Well, listen. Let me say this. So I'm one of those kind of guys, man. I don't believe in none of this love language bullshit. Okay, so I know some people do. I don't believe in any of it, because I believe I'm universal, man. If you meet me on a spirit level, I don't need to put a name on that shit. Either we connect or we don't. And so I don't know what all that shit means. But anyway,
I do believe in it. Now listen,
okay.
I believe that the 5 love language was a way to be able to define ways for couples to be able to cater to the things that people want more. Like so there's, for example, the 5 love language says that some men like the physical touch, right? That's sitting down in the living room. We're not talking about sex. We know all men like sex, but you sitting in the room, me with a bald head, my wife rubbing my bald head. I love it. Rubbing my back, scratching my back. Physical touch. Believe it or not, there's certain men that don't like to be touched outside of sex. So I do think it's a way to be able to communicate effectively. For example, my wife's love language is quality time. She loves spending quality time for me. So I think it gives couples a way to be able to see the things that they need, and they gave categories for people to be able to understand them perfectly. So I do believe in it. I just think she's just using it so out of context because that's for you and your wife. It's not somebody you met on a damn baby show.
I'm with you. You know what? Then I have to register as a chameleon. I got them all. I got it.
There you go.
I don't think so.
Exactly.
Hold on. Let me prove.
Exactly. Yeah. The younger generation, the more analytical they get, the more they miss.
But let's not get off track.
They're missing everything. They want to put a title on being a human being.
We have learned.
They want to put a header and a title on every human action that we do, and it's like, my God, how many words can you waste? Just be a freaking human being. It's called loving somebody.
Or
you don't have to put a damn title on everything you do. Oh, you schedule your own sex, don't you? Oh my God.
So
there's no impulse anymore. There's no creativity.
We learned more of the dictionary than
hold on, Corey, let him go. Listen, I don't want to really go down a rabbit hole, but either man, I'm sure you could come up with something to make me think about what I just said. And if we can get some time, let's get back to it. But let's go further on with this balloon, because we got a few ladies go through it, and we're gonna get some nice translation. Go ahead, BMU, if you that. Let's roll. Let's let a couple of ladies go by. Just remember what you hear. Go ahead.
Name and age.
I'm Jador. I'm 31.
All right. And Jador, why did you end up popping your balloon?
Dr. Elam, it's such a tragedy because you are so handsome. I feel like you are extremely arrogant, and I feel like you're probably going to have a hard time because you seem like the type, like a know-it-all type of guy. And sometimes you have to be careful with that because even when you know it all, you don't know everything. You know, so being humble sometimes can be your best friend, even if you do know it all, even if you're very smart, very wise, you know, but just having a humble attitude, you know what I mean? You would probably go a lot further. And I say that with all the respect in the world.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who's your dentist?
Who is my dentist? Not you, sweetheart. And I'm just going to leave it right there.
Oh, I know.
Pause that
I'm not your
video. Oh my
dentist.
God. Pause that video. Pause that video.
All right, let's.
Let's get one more under the belt. Just remember what you got to say. Okay, go ahead. He paused it. Go ahead. What's going on?
Oh my God. The first two women have no idea what respect is.
Okay.
They don't have a clue what respect is. The man is accomplished. He's educated. He's financially and mentally intelligent. You know, above what.
Hold
above
up. How are you gauging financially intelligent, Corey? How?
When I say financial intelligence, he's not,
I'm just saying, because like if we talk about the statistics, a black family, the average black family has $200,000 in net worth at max.
Right,
Two people. So before you get ahead of yourself and say someone's financially educated, like now you're in my waters. How do you assess that from looking at this guy?
where do you think this man's going to be when he's 50?
We
Do
don't
you know how many dentists jump off roofs because they're bankrupt?
Reckless.
But
Can you
he's
hear me?
already started.
Hey, Reckless, can you hear me?
Yep.
He's already
Okay,
building.
hold on. Hey, wait, hold on, Corey. Hold on for a second. First, before we get started, hey, listen, let me just say, Ruthless, man, thanks for coming up. Reckless, thanks for coming up. I know everybody wants to chomp in at the bit since we stopped, but let's go back in order. I don't want to get into any arguments right now. We have a chance. Well, not arguments.
Corey's the only one who's been talking.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to give you an opportunity to go ahead and get yourself some. Let me, Reckless, what do you think about what's going on? And then Rufus came up first. Rufus, go first, and Reckless, you get a chance to say, and then let's go and see a couple of these women. Get them under your belt. Just got to remember what they said. Go ahead, Rufus. What you got?
So, I mean, this is I really feel for us men because we missed the whole picture here, right? The women are saying bow down to us. That's what she's telling. He's telling you need to be humble to me. Mm-hmm. And he's actually being overly polite, right? He's actually condescending wise. They look at him like, no, you need to know that we are in charge here. We need to know that we are the ones that's got this under our power. And you need to be humble to that fact. So these women, what they're pressing for to him is, you're beneath us, we're above you. And that's the only way this is going to work.
But Ruthless, just to put a caveat, when she said that he's not humble, she's not talking about this interaction. She's talking about the last interaction that she's seen him. I
understand that. I understand. I heard. Right.
But I do agree with your point. So I'm just saying, because I keep people saying he's not being he's not being unhumble in this moment. But I have seen videos of him not as this humble. Yeah, right. But I don't think men should be this humble that they say. Y'all know they call me arrogant. So. But I'm just telling you that.
But go ahead, go ahead, Reckless. You can go now. But let's just look at him in this moment because I know he has a history. But in this moment, I think she probably would have said the same thing anyway. But go ahead, Reckless. What you got so far?
I mean, it's along the same points. Like aside from not being able to assess what he's worth, because like you can't do that by looking at someone. But the way that they're presenting is the way that a lot of women, period, regardless of race, act when they're grow up with a lack of respect for men, period. They don't respect him. It doesn't matter what you do. These types of women that are always looking for good men, they're always going to be looking for good men because they're the good men that they want to find. And men don't want to marry men generally, unless there's something wrong with them. So they're looking at every man they interact with as a boy. You are not a man. And that's the thing that you got to understand. Like, if it's this type of woman, there's no amount of grooming that you're going to do. You're not going to retrain her. They are defective beings, and they have to be left to their own devices to die out alone. And hopefully they don't reproduce a bunch. Hopefully.
All right, let's continue.
Got 5 kids, so
let's
it's too
continue.
late for that. Go ahead.
Let's continue.
Let's go to our next person here. Your name and age and why you ended up popping.
So my name is Brittany. I'm 31, and like she said, you look really good. I like that you're in the you're a dentist, but you are given arrogant, and it's given toxic too. Like it's given to you want to debate all the time. Like it's like you're gonna give me a headache. And if you if you do know it all, just a little bit better to be humble. So that's it. But you look good. You're handsome, but it's given toxic, and I don't want that. And it's also given like this is a joke to you. Like you just want to come out here just to say stuff to get a viral moment. I'm not feeling that.
Dr. Elam?
Yeah, I don't even really know what to say with that. I appreciate your perspective. I think that your feelings are valid. And if you are looking for a nuclear relationship, I probably am a red flag for you. So you're probably right on that.
I love your honesty. Thank you.
All right. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
Hi,
I'm Nova. I'm 30. Yeah, it was just the arrogance for me. I love a man that's very confident. Like I'm gonna toot your horn every chance I get. But I think you toot your own horn, so I don't think I would be able to accommodate that every day. Like you tooting, and then I'm trying to uplift. And it would just be a roller coaster ride. Like I feel like we would constantly be up here, and I like my space. I like quiet. I feel like every day would be something not negative, but just the energy would just be very high for me.
It sounds like self-love is something that's challenging for you.
Self-love? Oh no, baby, I'm sorry.
Because if you loved yourself, then you wouldn't have any problem loving me.
Oh, I love myself a lot, and I want to be able to love someone as much as I love myself. But I feel like you love yourself so much that there wouldn't be any room for me to love you.
Oh my
That also didn't make that much sense because love isn't a container. Love is something that you are. So I love myself. I've worked on myself, and I understand the tools that it takes to practice self-love. And so space and time isn't really an objective field that you need to use as a barometer to see if it's possible, if we can love each other. It's either you love yourself and you can share that, or you're uncomfortable with it. And so I feel that you're also uncomfortable with me loving myself as much as I do.
No.
And it's coming off as arrogance.
Oh, I'm arrogant?
No, I said it's coming off as arrogance.
Oh, you're coming off. Yeah, you do.
So my confidence is triggering you because it's reminding you.
Why?
Confidence. I melt in it.
It's not about you not having self-love. It's about you not appreciating the self-love in other people. And that is a direct reflection of how you see yourself. The term is called projection. When you see me shining, it reminds you that you're not shining enough.
Oh, so when I said that, I melted in confidence, that kind of went
you went there.
Melting in confidence is
self-love, confidence, all that in my man is very important to me because I don't want to date a man that does not love himself because then he won't love me.
He don't
as
love
much.
himself.
The level of love would be different.
Y'all just be running around advocating with women
I know,
like
but
you,
it's
bro.
okay.
But
This
your
is lame.
ego won't allow you to take responsibility for your lack. And
My
that's
lack?
okay.
But I don't lack anything, babe.
Pop y'all's balloon before you even got to know Dr. Elon. What a shame. What a shame.
Is it
All right,
though?
you can hold it here.
You'll find your
You said you
people.
watched the show before you got here, which means you have a preconceived indoctrination of who you think I am. So you popped your balloon before you even got to know me based on what
Can I
you've
ask a
already
question?
seen, please.
Why do you want to argue with me?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm using an inflection that is emphasizing my point. You thinking that I'm arguing is a direct trigger that you can't handle what I'm saying to you.
Okay, love bug. I've been here, done that. Yes,
Okay,
thank
yeah,
you.
let's
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Stop
Let's see
it here.
what's
Stop
next.
here.
All right, if we can have your name and age.
Pause. There we go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right. So okay. Out of the last 2 weeks, who has something to say on this?
It's a lot. See,
Go ahead. Go ahead. Well, either man, go ahead. Then you can reckless, and then whoever's go ahead. And what do you have to say?
So first of all, this shows that these group of women are not free thinkers, right? That they don't come up with thoughts by themselves. What they did is they heard one woman call him arrogant. And what they did is they just caught on to that because they said, hey, he must be arrogant because she said it. And then when he started asking more questions to try to quantify what they were saying, she had no substance to why he was arrogant. There was no substance whatsoever there. But yeah, I think that he was a disservice because he already went. But I landed here that says that he did himself a favor. These women are delusional and they can't be with a confident man like him. It's crazy.
So either man. So can we say they're a little intimidated?
No, it's not. It's not.
Yes, we can.
No, the reason that I wouldn't say intimidated because I don't think that they're scared. I don't think they have fear.
Intimidated to me, you got to be scared though, brother. It doesn't.
Well, define intimidation the way you're using it, so I can get on your page.
Intimidated means that he triggers something in them that makes them uneasy. They're uneasy with him because of his stature. And and that's why they're fumbling over their words. That's intimidation. I mean, listen, when I was younger, I had to fight some kids that were bigger than me that I might have been scared of, but I knew there was no way out. So just because I was intimidated didn't mean I didn't fight. Well, so what I'm trying to say is his stature, the way he's coming off, makes these chicks say stupid shit. They're all over themselves because they don't know. That's not how
they're just stupid. No, right? They're just stupid. See, people think, people think that. Hold on, 1 second. People think that I have to do something to make you stupid. It's crazy. I just think these women don't know how to articulate themselves. Okay. All right. I could have put ruthless up there, and they would have been doing the same thing. I don't think it was the about them.
So
who's trying to talk? Who's trying to talk?
Both of us. Like, Ruthless can go though.
Go ahead, so I'm just saying, right? We're once again, E and Mr. Payne, these women they have a sanctimonious mindset. So they're dealing from a power position, and he's not bowing down to that. So they're shaming him for that. They're shaming his success. Listen, because what does all women preach out here? Self-love, right? That's the number one woman. That's the number one woman's number one reason for leaving people and doing their own thing is I gotta love myself. And now they're gonna tell this man, well, you love yourself too much. Well, how do you measure that? This is a walking paradox here.
So it's crazy. All right, go ahead, Reckless. What you got?
All right, so either man has a point. As much as I don't like agreeing with him, but he has a solid point. They're following an order, and what you're watching is a psychological effect of rejection. Honestly, I know Black people don't like to delve into science and shit.
Talk about
but what you're doing is, as soon as he got rejected, the reason this show goes the way that it does is because as soon as those initial pops happen, it sends a trigger into every other woman on the panel's head, and then they go, he was rejected by her. Now I have to find a reason to also reject him because she didn't want him. And I think I'm better than her. So if she doesn't want him, then I don't want him either. The issue that I have with this show is like, I understand you guys love to be like, oh, the men's clapping back and doing all this is bitch behavior. Just so you guys know, this is a feminine going back and forth with a woman that you could literally rip her head off her shoulders. Are you fucking kidding me? This is like literally you were obvious. Like I was raised around all women, and the one rule was you weren't allowed to be fucking weak. And this shit was counted as the sissiest of shit in our household. You do not go back and forth with women under any circumstance because there's no fucking point.
There's no point. All right, listen. All right, hey, what's up? What's up, TJ? What's going on, man?
Nothing. I just saw you up here laughing and have a good time with this craziness.
I know.
It just thought I would come up and just say hello and everything like that.
I appreciate you coming on board, man.
Go ahead.
This
whole balloon pop platform is fucking triggering because it's highlighting the fact that I know this is going to sound provocative. It's highlighting that we all just need to get wiped out. That's all.
God. Just push the button. It's over.
It is. I was talking to my niece last week. She's 21 years old, and so she was just very exasperated. She just like, she was like, "Why are men so horrible?" And I was like, "Baby, you ain't never had one. How the fuck do you know?" You know, and that's what I told. And so I just started asking her, as much as I wanted to just kind of attack what she was saying, I just kept asking her questions like, where did you hear that from? Where did you get that from? You know, why do you think that way? Who told you this? Why do you see that? You know, so I started going that way, and so she could start thinking about, you know, a lot of the processes. And the only time I really interjected commentary is when I told her, I said, baby, let me tell you something about experience. Whether you want to hear from your own uncle or not, let me tell you something about experience. We form general thoughts based on small interactions. I said, you've had 2 or 3 boyfriends. So those didn't go the way you thought they should go. So now you have a certain mindset about amongst all guys. I said, you shouldn't do that to all guys. You know what I mean? Because you haven't. And I say, and God, I hope you don't get to experience all guys. I said, I don't want you to be a hoe. You know what I mean? I said, but if you want to be a hoe, be a hoe. And I said, and another reason why you think that, now you're looking at your mothers and your aunties and you're looking at their old life, but you're not understanding that they're hard and they're, you know, in the way that they think is based on who they decided to be with. I said, of the few men that your mother and your other nieces, I mean, your other aunts have been with, which one of those men were anything worth paying attention to? I said, so they got their anger based on those experiences. I said, so you're frustrated based on your experiences. And I said, you know, and I told her, I said, oh, you got to change your experience. I said, no, I said, a lot of people like what they like. I said, but if you like what you like and that's how you're going to roll, then you got to accept what comes with that, baby. And I said, and that's going to be a long, hard life and roll for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You know, rough hand.
Hey, so let's go ahead and continue. Let's get to the next 2 girls, ladies, I should say, and this should be interesting going forward. Go ahead, Black David, if you're back there. I hope you got the message from BMU.
And why you ended up popping.
My name is Tatiana. Okay, respectfully, where do I begin, my guy? You got a lot of dip on your chip, and I feel like the way that you coming at everybody else with like, oh, who's your dentist and everything, you finna ask me who my dentist is, and I'm not with that just yet. I'm not ready for that.
I know it's triggering.
Also, let me finish real quick, respectfully. I'm sorry, you know, because you interrupt everybody else. Let me speak real quick. I just personally feel like you're not used to and I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm alpha male, like, you know, whatever, like. You're not used to a dominant woman. I feel like you are like, it's easy kind of coming to you to belittle women a little bit. I understand where you're coming from with everything that you do, and I saw the last episode, but like you do come off as arrogant. Confidence is cool, but like, know the difference a little bit. What you gonna say about my tooth, bro?
Why would I want a dominant woman when I'm the dominant one?
Go ahead. There can't be, you know.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Do you think you're the prize?
I know I'm the prize.
You're the prize to the men you don't want.
Okay.
When you get a man that you actually want, please believe me, we're the prize.
Okay.
Gangsta.
Okay. Your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Unique. I'm 31. And I popped, not that I disagree with how he is. I love I love how he is.
Say it with your chest, girl. Say it with your chest.
He has confidence. It's nothing wrong with how he is. It's not what I want at the moment. Okay. Because I dealt with his kind before, in a way. Not exactly, because, you know, everybody's different. But I dealt with his kind before, and there's nothing wrong with how he is.
Okay.
I feel like right now, this is not the right platform for him as far as in what he's looking
hoe.
for, or maybe
You
he's
wanna be a
still trying
hoe
to
right
figure
now
out
this time of her
what it
life.
is you want. I don't know. But
I know what
maybe
I
you
want.
do know what you want.
I know what I want.
But obviously, it's multiple things that he wants that he hasn't found and received in one woman. You know,
Hey,
I heard.
I agree with you. I agree
Okay,
with
there's
you.
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with how you think, the confidence, all that. There's nothing wrong with it. You just have to find a woman that's willing to accept those things without her feeling like her light is getting dimmed, if that makes sense.
So
That's all. That's my
I have to find a woman who is strong enough to know that her light can't be dimmed.
Yeah, that.
Hit me with your best shot. Tell me your name again.
Unique.
Unique. That is so special.
Thank you. As far as the masculinity, like I said, it's not a gender. I feel like it's just,
So being dominant and being, what was the word that she used? What was the word that you used? I forgot.
Move on, brother.
Masculine. That is something that is not gender specific, is what you're saying?
No, I don't feel it is. I feel like I'm very dominant and masculine when I need to be. But
Can I ask you a question? What do you want?
what do I want? Out of a partner?
Why am I here?
I want my partner to be able to live in his confidence, exactly like how you are, but at the same time know exactly specifically what he wants. Instead of, because like I said, you can feel one way right now, but in a couple of months you're not going to feel the same. Everybody changes, different levels. If you get what I mean?
So by that line of reasoning, people are making lifelong decisions based off of 6 months, maybe a year. So is that fair to say, will you marry me based off of me knowing you for a year and a half, even though you're going to change?
Is it fair?
Right.
It's fair based on if that person agrees with,
Maybe not fair. Is it feasible?
I don't know the answer to that.
I do.
That's fine.
I do.
No, it's fine. It's all right. Let's go. Okay, if we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
The big back in
Hi,
there.
I'm Micah. I'm 33, and I ended up popping. One, I actually agree with a lot of the stuff that you say. So the 3 reasons that you gave before, I agree with all 3 of those. So I think you're on to that. I didn't really like how you showed up. I appreciate that you had emergency surgery. I love that.
The scrubs are clean. I was wearing a white coat while I was doing it, so
No, I
they're-
appreciate
they're-
it.
they're-
I appreciate it.
He's
But
a
yeah,
doctor?
that's really the only reason, to be honest. And I think we just probably.
Yeah, he's a
So if
doctor.
you would have seen me in the dental office, you would have been like, this guy.
I would have been like, yeah, nice smile, maybe.
But the scrubs was not doing it for me.
I just feel like they said date ready,
fuck
and
is
you've been
wrong
here
with
before, so you know what's up. And having
You're
emergency
right,
surgery
you're right.
is not an
This is
excuse.
like-
I failed you
No,
on
you
this
didn't
day.
feel me.
I failed you.
It's
And I'm
okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
Next time, I'll make my patients wait.
Okay, please, thank you.
Okay, so let's hold it for a second.
What the fuck?
Wait, hold on. Before we go, we got to do the super chats, and then we'll get. I think Trey just came up. I don't know if anybody's before. I want Trey to say something. All right, Through the Fire podcast, right? $2. What the f is going? What's the f is wrong with her? Damn. So we missed who he was talking about. This Big Ant 11. All right. When you were not raised with a solid life foundation of being an adult, you tend to create faults in other people to make yourself feel relevant. Mr. Payne, respect, sir. Thank you. All right, $10 from Mr. Big Ant. Bam. Hey, Trey, man, welcome aboard. What you got?
What's good, Payne? What's going on, fellas?
All right, man. What's happening, brother?
Look, I love the balloon show because every time I think that, let's give the sisters a chance. Every time I think, you know what, they not all bad. Let's give them a chance. They take a shotgun to their foot and they do shit. The scrubs thing kind of got. I have an issue with the arrogance thing because I've heard that people have said that about me, and I have a retort for that. But the scrubs thing really bothers me because he didn't show up in gym shorts. He didn't show up with his pants hanging off his ass. He showed up because he had a job to do. This man is out here trying to do his best to help people live comfortable lives. He had a job to do. He's not coming from any old where. He came from work. Your problem is that he wasn't dressed appropriately. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like this shit is like this is why he'll end up with a white woman. He'll end up with a white woman.
And
He's
happy.
gonna end up with a white woman and happy. Yes,
And
TJ,
happy.
Hello, but because no, don't interrupt me. Let me finish. You have your moment.
Sit down.
I know you want to defend the
Talk to
women.
him like that.
I know you want to defend the women because that's what he's gonna do. But no, at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is, if this was a white girl, she would have said, "Oh no, it's okay, it's cool, I understand, it's all right," and they would have gone on with what's going on. It's so irritating to watch black women. It's almost degrading to a sense. Yep. This man isn't coming from anywhere.
Yep.
And the arrogance part is simple. You goddamn right he's arrogant because he earned it. He earned the arrogance. I don't know how many black doctors you see walking around. There ain't a whole bunch of them, which is why every time they graduate from college, they got to go tell 50 million people, look, only a little bit of us was able to do this amazing feat, which is become a doctor. So yeah, he's arrogant because he earned it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Trey,
a real woman,
appreciate you.
And
Appreciate
a
you,
real woman would appeal to his ego so that he would become the head of cardiology or the head of whatever. So he'd be the top doctor. But instead, you got a problem with him because he'll tell you, I know I'm good at what I do. I know I'm great because I've worked my ass off to get here. Every time I see these black women, I think the same thing. Nope, y'all not ready yet.
Yep. I got to start my live in like 1 minute.
You couldn't really cut out. Say your final.
Yeah, I might get out of here. Appreciate you. I appreciate you having me up. This was a good hour that we spent together. And I think we got to realize that the people that go on this show, no, they don't have access to people. I think he's overqualified to be on this show. So for us to think that these women are going to be the cream of the crop, I think is being disingenuous, because if they had no problem getting men, they wouldn't be on the show.
Facts.
Usually vice versa with men too. But I appreciate you having me on here. This is the worst, and that's what they
made. You owe me an apology.
It's too bad you ain't here for the second.
What I owe you for? Hold on. Somebody say I owe him an apology. What I owe you an apology for, sir?
For caping for that chick on TMBR the other day when I was right.
TMBR.
This might be risky. You know what you did.
Which no, you was wrong. Even when we hold on, when we played the hold on. I gotta be able to respond to that.
Oil your scalp and apologize, E.
No, I don't owe him an apology.
I was just fucking.
You can stop it.
Eda man, I was just fucking with you, Eda man. I was just fucking with you.
Well, no, I do want to respond to what you said. Listen, you told that woman she was acting like a bitch, and I'm just telling you straight up.
Was she?
Yes.
No, listen, she wasn't.
You fat, bald-headed, no-neck midget. I sentence you to 3,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man.
To everything. You don't have to respond to everything.
So the point that I was saying is that I think it was inappropriate. Because
okay, enough said, man. We hear you. Don't take it personally, man.
It was a lie.
Okay, let's move on, man. This is not the show for that.
Yeah.
So he said something wrong. You don't have to apologize. Let's move on. I want to get to the next.
I was just messing with real quick, RP, because I actually got to start my live. I got one thing to say to Trey, and I gotta go because I got to start my live. All right, real quick. I was just messing with you, Eda, man. I know you know.
I know.
Yeah, that's Trey, right. He triggered you. Don't let him trigger you, man. Go ahead.
Hey, Trey, real quick. Let me look, Trey, I got a real quick story for you. You know, I work in an emergency room, right? I wear scrubs. One, you know how many times I walk out my door and I go someplace and everybody tell me why am I wearing pajamas? Fuck y'all. Y'all don't know what the second. The person, Trey, the person who is the director of the emergency room is a 38-year-old black man. Good looking dude. For the last 2 years, I watched him chase 2 sisters, and he's a good looking man. They just curved him so bad it ain't even funny. This nurse practitioner comes in, a white woman. This motherfucking woman learned, she saw him. I saw the day she looked at him. I said, she finna get him. She tried him. He rejected her. This girl started learning like what he liked to eat. She started bringing it to work. She found out what kind of perfume he liked. She started wearing it. You hear what I'm saying? She changed her schedule to his schedule. Guess what happened 6 months ago, Trey?
They got married.
They got married.
They got married. They got married. The head of the emergency, those are, besides cardiothoracic surgeons, being the director of the emergency room of a trauma center is one of the highest paying positions a physician can have. And this 38 years old doing his thing, and there was 2 sisters he wanted. They just curbed him. I'm not messing up my job. That white woman came in there with that sister booty. She was like, no problem.
Hey, TJ, you know what? One thing I bet she's not going to say, well, you work too hard.
Oh, hell no.
Right. She ain't gonna say none of that shit. You know, let
me tell you something. Last month, Trey, she made a mistake in the emergency room. He checked her hard in front of everybody. And guess what she did?
Said yes, Daddy.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Let that have been one of them black women that he was married to, and she made a mistake, checked her like that. It would have been a whole fucking dumpster fire. But
why are you embarrassing me in front of everybody?
Yes. She just said, I'm sorry. I'll do better. That's what she said. I about passed the fuck out.
Let's get to the second one, man. So the second one, we all know about.
All right, y'all, I gotta roll.
Hey, take it easy, TJ. All right, man. Thanks for coming up, brother. Let's get to the second one, and the one that everybody's talking about, the plumber. So whenever you're ready, Black David, man, that'll be cool. Let's roll the clip. I know you're back there somewhere. I thought you were in. He said he was going. I thought he left it to you. I see you in the back chat. You mean BMU? I thought he left it to you, man. So you can't run it.
You got people just dropping like flies over here. What happened? Oh, there's Craig.
Anyway, he can get it, Jeff. If he find BMU, I don't know where he's at. But I thought he gave it to you, Black David. Anyway, who's still on the Corey? You still there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, man. Well, since you haven't gone in a while, what you got to say on what we said?
I'll have you hold this.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, here it is. So, okay,
I'll be right back.
All right. If we can have your name.
My name's Aaron.
Aaron, how old are you?
Ma'am, I'm 29.
29. Okay.
Yes.
And what do you do?
I'm a licensed plumber.
Okay. Very cool.
Yes.
And now, what do you look for in a woman?
I look for a woman that's not promiscuous and has a career going for herself.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And now, what are some of your deal breakers?
Deal breaker, being promiscuous, not cleanly, don't have a career, nothing really going for yourself.
Okay. All right. So we did get a pop balloon. Let's go ahead and go on over there and see what's going on.
Yes.
All right. If we can have your name and age and why you popped your balloon.
Hi, my name is Karma. I'm 24. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to say the pop in the balloon proper. Got you. For me, it just did not work. I didn't feel like I had chemistry or I wasn't fully attracted to you. And I feel like that counts if we are going to be going through a dating show, you know?
Yes, the feeling is definitely mutual. So that's okay. Yeah. Thank you. You did me a favor.
You know, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you have a great day.
Thank you, Queen. You too.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead. All right. We got to pop over here. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Hi, my name is Jara. I'm 22.
Okay. And why did we end up popping our balloon?
The comment you made, didn't really. I like a more humble person. That's the one that responds. So defensive-ish. Yeah, that's really it. I didn't really necessarily like
that's
how you
fine.
responded.
Hey, I could just all I can do is be honest.
I mean,
you know,
yeah, be honest.
I
Be your
came
authentic
over
self.
here to,
That's okay.
to find a match.
Sure.
That wasn't matching. That's
Sure,
all, Queen.
I 100% understand.
Yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
Sure.
Okay. And now is she someone that's your type?
She all right. You know, you're not really my type. I don't mean to be disrespectful.
No, disrespecting.
You know, but if I seen you in public, I wouldn't reach out to you.
Totally fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. And we did get a pop balloon over here. Your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
I'm Lex, and I'm 23, and I popped my balloon because I feel like you could be a tad bit disrespectful, like how you, like, I don't know, arrogant a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah, just that.
Well, voicing my opinion is not arrogant. You know, she asked me if she would be a good fit for me. If I like what I see, you know, it's contrary to the truth.
Of course.
that's all I can do is just state what I see. That's not a good look for me. That's all, Queen. But thank you. You did me a favor as well.
Yeah. Also, what I have to say is it's not what you say. This is what I mean by what I said. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yes.
You could have rephrased a lot of the things that you have been saying to me as well as the other girls differently. But that's all I have to say.
But one thing about me is I'm not going to change who I am
Of course.
to fit somebody else's liking. I'm just going to tell it how it is. If you're not it, that's not it.
Cool.
The one that is it, I'm going to let it be known.
Okay.
For surely, yes.
Respectful.
All right. Your name and age and why you ended up popping your balloon.
Brianna, 26. My eyes are up here, baby. Are you looking at the tattoo?
No, I'm looking at the hair on your arms. The women I deal with, they don't have hair on their
Don't
arms.
do too much.
Hey, I'm just being honest,
Don't do
Queen.
too much.
I don't like that. That's all I
Okay.
was looking at. You trying to say if I'm looking at particular body
You just
parts,
wasn't
but
looking at
that's
my
not
eyes.
what it is.
That's
No, I was
all
looking at the
pointing
hair
out.
on your
Anyways,
arms, Queen.
she asked me the question.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in heels and you ain't tall enough.
Okay.
Don't do too much.
Well,
though.
you're not qualified, baby.
Alright,
so that's all good.
Let's move on. Let's move
All
on.
right, let's
Okay.
stop for a second. Let's stop for a second. All right. So listen, go. Anybody have Corey? You got something to say about what we saw this?
Payne, this is a really cool show, but there's something that's missing because it's 2024. We need to have a group of white women in the room. We need to have a group of Asian women in the room. We need to give this man the options that are actually walking around and see how the other women react to it. Because professional daters, I wouldn't go out with one. These women are professional daters.
Yeah.
I heard a black gentleman say that, and it hit me to the core. It's like, oh my God, yeah, professional daters. Huh. Okay, so I let that sink in for a couple months, and I was like, oh dang, he's not wrong. He's right. He's not wrong at all. Professional daters are a waste of time.
One of the things I saw about the lady in red, she got like the long sagging titties up there, and she tried to shame him, but he didn't let her go away all through it, right? Like he said, you ain't looking at my eyes, like you looking at my body. And I like his comeback, saying she had hair on her arms like she was a wildebeest or something. But that was pretty funny. But anyway, who wants to go next?
I'll get it. I mean, again, the back and forth, man. I got to get the last word. Arguing with women. Also, the thing that we keep leaving out. I mean, I understand that we got to jump on the women's neck over here, but like, if you got access to bitches, you're not on a dating show. Okay. I'm just saying, like, the dudes are on a dating show too, mind you. like I don't know. Like, you ain't never gonna see my ass there. Like, I can go outside where women are and get women. Like, that's got it. And like, this show is just for gotcha moments. I feel like they have a specific type of woman that's looking to take down a dude. I'm gonna figure out a way to insult you, and then the dudes are going, well, I'm up here. You got me on national TV. I can't just be like, cool, whatever, moving on. And then you get the back and forth, and now we're talking about him here.
All right, Trey, you got anything to say about this guy and and the girls?
First of all, we don't need white people on the show. We can stop whitewashing. We need to stop whitewashing everything. Show is for black people. Let it be for black people. There's nothing wrong with having a panel full of black women. As a matter of fact, it's more educational having a bunch of black women out there. Second of all, I'm not completely sure that I don't quite understand women, I guess, sometimes when they do the whole, what are you looking at? I'm looking at the bullshit you put on. I'm looking at you because you wore that dress. You came out the house with them long ass titties that's dragging the floor. You came out the house looking like that. I don't understand when women say, well, you need to be looking at, no, you wore that silly ass red dress. You made yourself look like that. And I'm going to give you exactly what you want, which is for men to look at you. That's the purpose you wore. You ain't up there fully covered up. None of them are.
Mm-mm.
So I don't understand. I've never understood that about women. You don't want men to look at you, then dress a certain way so they won't look at you. I've never looked at a woman wearing a big ass muumuu. I don't care to look. I don't care to look at her. That's not what I'm looking at to see. I think personally, this turned into a sisterhood meeting quick and fast. It turned into a sisterhood meeting quick and fast. But probably the second girl who popped her balloon when she said, "I didn't like what you said to the other girl." This turned into an us versus him thing. And it was never going to go right after that. And this just goes to show you, this is the reason why they choosing bears. This is the reason why they will choose each other before they choose a man. And I say to the black men, let them. Let them be. Why do y'all keep fighting this so much? They don't want us. They don't want black men. Let them go. And now this man has lost his job because of this. Let him go.
Yeah.
All right, hey man, dirty folks, what's going on, man? How much
What's going on, Payne, man? How you doing?
In the background, man? What's happening?
Hey, we finally broke our Payne, man. He got married when crack was still called freebase. He finally came through, bro. He finally figured out what happened since 2008. Shout out to you, man.
1987, brother.
I know, man. Freebase came out in 86. You know what? And women weren't always like this. That's why I always say pre-2008, post-2008. Because we're not going to act like these ain't the same toddlers that I was chasing at Freaknik when I was 19. Now they found the board and they got kids and they trying to teach their kids other shit. I'm not tripping on that. I just hate that they lie about it. Just be like, yeah, I was at Freaknik. Don't act like you found the Lord and now you better. Just keep that Freaknik energy. That's all I ask, but they don't. Here's the problem with the guys on the show. The problem with the guys on the show is not the profession. It's the presentation.
Yep.
They presented themselves as upstanding men who have a 680 credit score or better. They should have came out there with some Efizu jeans and some jewelry and a big face watch. Said the same thing they saying. You're like, yo, but I sell crack on the weekends, and those girls would have got wet.
Facts.
The problem isn't that. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
When a man is in his whatever, his purpose, his lane, going toward his goals, whatever the case may be, right? If y'all really thought back on all them high school movies when it was still cool for girls to like boys, like, you know, back in the day, y'all know the movies I'm talking about, the Porkies and the American Pies and all that, right?
Yeah.
You never saw a black girl on them benches while her boyfriend was practicing for the football team. She was doing her homework on the bleachers while he practiced. You ain't never seen no black girl do that. Black girls went to the finish line. You feel what I'm saying? When I get grown, now I go to parties hosted by NBA players. You know who don't want them girls? NBA. And them niggas ain't even NBA players. I just slide them. They just tall and light skinned for no reason. They play overseas. They play in Italy or, you know, but they still make $100,000 a year. They still six figures.
And
we'll be at a hookah party and the girls be like, hey, and they be like, ugh. I'll be like, ugh. Like, because we know what you want. Nothing is worse to a black woman than not being able to, I damn near want to say destroy your life. Like a woman will take a man with potential and kill his potential. Or they'll take a man at the apex and try to spend all his stuff and say we. Because our money, you know, my money is our money, but her money is her money. So it's we. Right. You do whatever you want to do and I got to pay the cost. Right. You start whatever fights you want to start and I got a box. And once you tell a woman, like, look, I require something for that because I bring way more to the table. You don't even care about your coochie. You think your coochie, you don't care about your coochie. You put shower heads, vegetables, vibrators, rabbits, dildos, other women, men. You put anything anything in your coochie. You don't care about your coochie. If I believed under the Trader Joe Act, under the Whole Foods Act, that organic costs more than artificial, you pay $100 for a fake penis. So mine should be worth $200. Why am I paying you $40 for you to come? You should be paying me $200 for you to come.
You know what? All right, man. Listen.
No, I'm just saying. So the whole thing is, it's a bunch of dudes who have a reverence for women who don't give a shit. So you're in a conundrum. You're battling. I love me, right? I love me. I love what I do. I love my friends. I love my outside network. I got it all together. I'm introducing you to my life. You are not the transmission. You don't make me go. You are the rims on my car. You just make my car look better. You used to call them arm candy. You arm candy. You make my life look better. But I'm all right without you. And then you come in and say, no, I want to be the dominant figure of your life. And if I'm not, then I don't feel like I have control. And if I don't have control, it feels like slavery. I don't love slavery. You better get your slave ass on, get in the car.
One of the things I have a problem with the dude is that he a little bit too much back and forth, like reckless.
Oh, yo, he was sassy.
You know, just a little bit too much.
Thank you.
You know, just say your point.
So he should be quiet.
No, it's just
after
y'all sound like y'all tone police.
No, it's not tone policing. It's the premise. Do you sit around arguing with women in real life?
I wouldn't go on a dating show.
Well,
also true, but you know what I'm saying. You don't
hold on.
argue with women.
Yeah, we don't argue. I'm just saying she asks him a question, they go back and forth, and there's a little bit of gotcha there, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And then you move on. But I don't have any problem with the brother. It's still the same. Like I use the word intimidation. I still say that these ladies are faced with a guy that they can't push around, and they don't like that. You know, they just don't like that. Even when they go with the so-called thug, right, who's not expecting anything, it's easy for them because this guy don't have no expectations of me other than I give him some box, right? So when you got expectations of a woman, they get, some of these these chicks, not all women, but these chicks, that triggered them right from the beginning. When he said promiscuous, that probably threw half of them off. So anyhow, let's continue. Well, Black Dave, you back there? Let's continue. Let's go ahead. Let's roll the tape.
We do still have 3 unpop, but she looking like you gonna pop? Okay. Okay. All right. If we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Jacqueline. I'm 25. I popped because I have hair on my arms.
Hey, just because you got hair on your arms, that's okay though, Queen. You look phenomenal though.
Thank you.
You know, she ain't fit to my liking. She ain't even fit to. Hey, excuse me, Queen. I'm talking to this woman right here. Oh, well, I could look anyway. I want to. You know. But yeah, can y'all give her balloon back though?
She don't want it.
Yeah. Do you want your balloon back, Queen? We're not talking to you, sweetheart.
Okay.
You already been. I already let you know. I'm not interested in. You got more hair on your arms than me, baby. But anyways.
Okay. So he's saying get your balloon back, but how you feeling him?
I'm not gonna get my balloon back.
Okay.
All right. No problem. So we do still have 2 balloons.
Yes.
Do we still have 2 balloons?
No.
Okay, let's go over here. I saw you hesitate. That's why I had to ask. So if we can have your name and age and why you ended up popping.
My name is Kayla. I'm 23. Originally, I was not going to pop my balloon because I know a lot of them popped it because he was being, I guess, arrogant. But to me, I like my man that's not going to sit in every girl's face and, complimenting them, So I didn't find that offensive to me. But when they started what was going on, I'm very, I don't want to say I'm argumentative, but I don't want my man to argue back with me because then I feel like it's going to always be a problem. That was the only reason why I popped my balloon because I was just like, dang. But then with me, you kind of got a little bit catty with me. You a little sassy just a little bit. And since you want to come at everybody over here, I'm going to get at you too. You kind of look like a Ninja Turtle. You're not that cute. You need to relax. You stocky as hell. And I was trying to be respectful, but you was really coming out I didn't like it. I'm from the South and I can handle a lot of criticism and stuff like that. But the way you was coming, you just ain't like you got it all like that. And I guarantee you probably got a roommate at home and it's just not giving anymore.
Well, let me say this, Queen. I'm a licensed plumber.
I do real estate and property management.
I live downtown.
So what you do
I live
ain't nothing compared to
downtown.
me.
I stay by myself, Queen. And you're not even qualified to be even
You
dealing
say
with
everybody
me.
not qualified.
You definitely not. If anything, it was one of these two. I wasn't even looking your way. You
And
ain't
the
even
one
my
that you
type.
wanted popped
If I
up.
seen, that's fine.
So what?
That is totally fine.
Okay.
But one thing about me, I could pull 100,000 on the bank. Can you do the same?
Get this
yeah,
man
you can't
off
do
here.
that. You can't do that
Let's
though,
move
baby.
on.
Yeah,
Let's
in a real
move
way.
on.
You
Let's
can't
move
do
on.
that though, Queen.
All right. If we can have your name and age.
Hi, I'm Esther. I'm 23.
Okay. And Esther, you still have your balloon unpopped. Why so?
Are you done?
Oh yeah, I'm done with the rest of that.
Okay.
You know.
Okay, now we can talk, right?
in a real way.
Okay. What do you look for?
I look
What
for
are you looking for?
a woman, like I said, that's not going to be promiscuous, a woman that's going to be consistent, a woman that has a career and things going for herself, because I had the same thing going for myself,
Okay.
you know, as well. I don't need a woman to give me her money or anything. I'm just looking for devotion and some loyalty, that's all, and some honesty.
Do you believe in God?
Oh, certainly. Yes, ma'am. I'm a God-fearing man. I practice monotheism. You know, I won't tell you what I identify as religion-wise, but we can get to that at a later date and time, you
We
know,
can.
if you choose to leave here with me.
Okay. Do you know the Bible says that love is kind?
Yes, certainly.
Are you here for love or are you here to just
I'm,
insult
I'm, I'm trying to
everyone?
create a family, you know,
Okay.
that's what I aspire to do.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
You're good?
Sure, we're good.
Oh, okay. All right. Any questions for her?
No, not at all.
Oh. Do you have any kids?
No, I don't.
Do you want kids?
I do. You
How old
gonna
are
give
you
me
again?
some? Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 29. How old are you?
23.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Perfect age.
You know, we might as well get up out of here right now.
Step on over here. Let's step on. Step that way. Real quick for me. Step that way.
Okay.
Bro, them other girls are
All
sucking
right.
their
So
teeth,
seems
bro.
like there's a little vibe here. So is it gonna be a yes for you for him?
God says save souls, so yeah.
Oh, and is it a yes for you
It's
for her?
gonna be a hell yes for me.
Okay, we got a match.
Okay, that's it, man. You listen, Corey, you still there?
Okay.
Corey, you still
Yeah,
there?
yeah, I'm
You
here.
got anything? And then you can go after that, Trey. Go ahead, Corey. What you got, man?
Oh God, that actually ended better than I was expecting. That was funny as hell. I'm actually happy for the guy. I mean, that young lady right there knew what she wanted, and she was going after it, and she wasn't going to let the herd decide for her. Whether
Yeah,
she treats him right or not, it's her business. You know what happened later, that's all on her. But she told the rest of the women, "Well, you all grow old. Y'all can sit around in those 4 rattan chairs drinking wine and sing that thank you for being a friend later on because she ain't joining them." It's just, I mean, yeah, I'm blown away by how quick women say that, "Oh, you come across as sassy, you come across as disrespectful," when they started all the gaslighting and shaming.
So
I
what do
mean,
you think about him? What do you think about him leading with his money? Well, he didn't lead with it, but he talked about I got $100,000 in the bank and all that.
I think
stuff.
he did fine because that
Okay.
woman, she had no concept of future anything. She was all
All right.
about the next 5 minutes. Well, you was sassy. He's like,
Oh yeah, I didn't like.
I
that.
could pull 100,000 out of my wallet. What do you got besides 5 baby daddies? I mean, racking up bodies and losing value every day is not a value. That is not a value. I'm sorry. I don't care how many men you can pull. It ain't got nothing to do with your value. It just means you're a box on legs.
I hear you. I hear you. Trey, what you got?
I don't know where to start. I never got past. I'm argumentative, but I don't like my man to argue with me. I don't think that people sometimes when they speak, I don't think they hear their own shit coming out of their mouth, male or female. I don't think they hear it. You say silly shit like that. Listen, I'm not completely sure what black women want. I have a funny feeling that it doesn't involve men who get up and go to work 9 to 5. That's what it looks like to me. It doesn't look like it's hardworking, noble, honest, law-abiding citizen men. I'm not sure that's what they want. And the whole guy talk while wearing a dress that looks like you headed to the club is unreal to me. Oh, God saved so. Why don't you start with your own? Because you look like you got issues wearing that little ass black dress. We would later find out, according to him, that she was a gold digger and it didn't work out between the two of them either.
Right.
But listen, as a black man, you work your ass off, right? To get to a certain point, you stay out of trouble, you keep your nose clean. Some go and go get degrees. A lot of black men have certificates and they have special skills. You work your ass off to build. And what's waiting for you? this is what's waiting for you. You work your ass off to get to a certain point, and when you get to that finish line, this is the quality of women, the modern women today, that's waiting for you. And we wonder why guys will say, I'd rather go somewhere else, or I'd rather date outside my race, because this is what's waiting for them. Y'all said it earlier, this isn't the best representation of women. I would say it's fairly accurate. I would say that if you were to go to any city, New York, DC, Baltimore, Atlanta, Miami, Vegas, Jacksonville, Memphis, St. Louis, Chicago, LA, you're gonna come across black women that are more like this than the other. This is what you're gonna see. So I mean, it had a happy ending for the show, for the content creation, but overall, I wish that black men would actually stand on the square and say, we done with this shit. We're not doing no more dating shows. We ain't popping no fucking balloons. We're not doing none of this shit until y'all get y'all shit together. I really do. I wish they would, but the world is more simps than anything these days. So it is what it is. But it's unfortunate because, like I said, every time you start to think maybe black women are starting to get the message, you'll see something like this and go, nope, they still haven't got the message. And again, the sisterhood was in full effect again, because while he was addressing another woman, the other woman who he was already dealt with, she don't want you. You hate now. It's not even on you. You hate now. It's just sisterhood working his ass off in that room. So yeah, that's that.
Go ahead, Reckless. What you got, man?
I mean, Trey nailed it on the head. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. I don't think the last chick was that bad. I ain't gonna rally on her so much as everyone else. I was like, she picked what she wanted. Obviously, the sisterhood turned on her, said she was a gold digger because she didn't pop her balloon and go along to get along. But it's what I've been saying the whole night. It's like, I thought that group of women was a lot better than the doctor's group of women. They were more able to articulate their points and not necessarily be rude until it started getting to the going back and forth, with the exception of long titties. And the other chick who, after everybody else had gone back and forth with him, was like, I'm going to get my shots off. And these people aren't respectable. These aren't the type of women that you would see with somebody who's of value. Not that guy's of value because he is a whole piece of shit in real life. Just saying. But so like I ain't defended him outside of the show, but the thing that people also overlook is you can't judge those women's interaction with him based off information that we got after the show was over, because none of them knew him from Dick or Harry at that show. Those women were just being the way that they were being. So and to me that shows that they're not capable of being in a relationship. The last chick was at least able to get through the conversation. You know what I'm saying? And actually get her opinions, kind of feel the dude out, figure out whether she wanted to date him or not. And he was capable of having the conversation when it's not posited in an aggressive, attacking fashion. And everyone was saying that he got fired because he was abrasive to those women. And I was like, the women were abrasive to him first, and nobody says anything about that. And then these are things that we regularly overlook. Like, we're just supposed to be able to get talked to however they feel like talking to us. And the problem is those women specifically, especially within the culture, are coming to every single black man that they meet with that chip on their shoulder. You are a boy. You're just like every other dude I dealt with, even though you make an order of magnitude more than him or me combined. Like, I'm giving you that energy, and it's like, I don't deserve it. It's not warranted. I don't have to deal with you. So the question is, who's better off because of this? Because like that doctor, he gets to go continue to be rich. And I'm pretty sure a bunch of people were saying one of them chicks had 5 kids. She gets to go back home to her chaos. Like, who's actually losing out here? Like, if you're looking for that, because these women are on this dating show saying they're looking for a specific type of man. They get put in front of the specific type of man, and they immediately err towards disqualifying or trying to bring him down a peg so that they can feel like they're running the show. And that's the issue. Or bringing the energy that they had from every other fuckboy that they dealt with before meeting this guy. And now he just doesn't deal with you. And he gets to go continue to be rich, continue to have his businesses, continue to live his life, with the exception of the plumber. But overall, them dudes, they're going to be okay.
Well,
Like,
let me
are
ask
you
this,
though?
okay, so even the plumber, I know there's some stuff afterwards. I heard about it. I even, I don't know how true to him getting fired probably is, but I wonder what kind of standing he was in that job in the first place. But that's another story.
Right,
But
right.
but here's my thing. Instead of going down that rabbit hole, we don't have to. I like the girl in the black too, only from the very first words that she said. Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done? She was willing, instead of arguing, she said, are you done? And I think he picked up on that vibe. And I don't know how much of it is just I just think he picked up on the vibe. That's why she still had the balloon. Now, whatever happened next is another story. But it was something about her. She didn't mind the way he was. She didn't mind. I don't know if she was just a gold digger. Just saying I have $100,000 doesn't mean it's anything to dig gold for. So I don't know. I didn't see all the stuff afterwards, but I just like the way she came out. Are you done? And the way she said it, he didn't take offense to it because he took offense to almost everything the other woman said from the first word.
Yep.
So I thought, so either that was fixed or it was an inflection on her voice that he understood it wasn't threatening. So that's how I took from that. But that's all I had to say about that. But I don't know if you had anything more. The dirty folks, you can go. You got something on this last thing.
I heard everything Trey said. I'm not mad at anything Trey said except one thing. Y'all got to quit calling yourself black men. Black is for women, gays, and felons. If you can read above fifth grade level and you're gainfully employed without a parole officer, you're the white people of black people. Gay is a new black. Karen is a new black. Only horrible things are black. Quit saying that shit. Anyway, as the story progresses, I'm laughing because the way they approached a dating show isn't how you approach a gaggle of Keishas. It's not their fault though. They approached him like a man, but you can't be a man and be black. They were dealing with black women. They weren't dealing with women. They were dealing with black women. When you deal with black women, you gotta holler at the most horrible fucking women in the group. So you got to get Travel One and Shiesty Bum to give you that. You just start off. Travel One and Shiesty Bum got to give you that. You got to cater to them, knowing you don't want these ugly bitches, but you got to cater to them in order to get the girl that you want, because girls date by committee, right?
Yep.
So them going on a dating show and they treated it like they were taking a girl to a restaurant and talking over the table. That's what it went wrong. The second dude, he was just everything don't deserve a response. He wanted the last word. That's not. Yeah. But the dentist dude, the dentist didn't do anything wrong if he was talking to an actual woman. He was talking to Keisha. Yeah.
I agree.
There's a mantra in life. The same thing that make you laugh, make you cry. Right? Nigga, I ran through hundreds of black girls when I didn't listen to them, when everything they said was white noise. Because I know what they're going to say. They got touched as a kid, what they want to be when they grow up, how many kids they got a degree. But I don't give a fuck about what you're talking about. I let a girl talk until she talk about fucking. I don't care about nothing she's talking about. I just be on the phone like, word, that's crazy. Like, I ain't heard nothing because I heard the story so many times before. When I turned 31, my dad told me he was ready for grandkids and he wanted me to find a wife. Now, I'm a person who never listened to women in my life. I didn't listen to my mother because I know my mama ain't want nothing. Like, I listen for keywords like, want, take out the garbage. Want. All right, cool, take out the garbage. And because of that, I was cool. When I started listening to women, because my dad was like, and it's my fault. My friends keep telling me, you ain't supposed to listen to your parents and they tell you to get married. I ain't know better. Y'all should have told me that. But when I went out here to be like, all right, Pop, I'm getting that age. I'll find a spouse. The same thing make you laugh, make you cry. The same, because every black woman is Sukiyana. You think they dress nice? All those dresses were $12 from Rainbow. It don't cost much for a girl to wear a dress. Every black girl is Sukiyana. It don't matter if she a high school dropout or she got a doctorate degree in some dumb stuff like psychology. She's still Sukiyana. And when you try to cuff Sukiyana and you have things going on, you'll always be depressed, right? I've been with girls who thought I sold drugs and was a killer, by the way. I don't even know how they got that. association, right? They were like, you sell drugs, you a killer because you got a big truck. I'm like, shorty, I'm a mortgage broker. I pay a car note. And the girl be like, oh, I wasted my coochie. I thought you was. I'm like, you wasted your coochie. Like, this is what you're dealing with.
Yeah, man. You okay? So now I hear you, dirty folks. Listen, I don't know what the way out of it. So when I saw this dating show, I said, you know what? A couple of them with the guy. The real purpose is a couple of months ago, like I said, there was a lady up here, a sister up here. I thought she was fantastic, and the guys were as goofy as hell. And I just think that turnabout is fair play. Now, the doctor, it was a little bit more impressive to me than the plumbing guy, but because he was more articulate, and he's the same kind of guy that all these chicks everywhere say they want. I mean, he was about 6'4", maybe taller, right? Good in shape. It looked like you just look at him, look like he's in shape. A profession, everything. And I think the girls were just as goofy as hell when it came to this guy because he was sure of himself, articulated, he could conjugate a verb and articulate his points. And that I still use the word intimidate. They were intimidated by that, even though they self-destroyed each other, like whatever they call that chain reaction thing is. I see monkey do. But I don't know, man. I don't, like I said, it seems hopeless out there because we haven't seen an example of a cadre of ladies that we would all say, God damn it. I mean, I'm talking about who are looking to date, who say, damn, man, if I knew these women and like a whole cadre of them in one panel or something like that, to say, you know what, there is hope. Where's the 30% that's out there?
We're not even seeing the one, our Payne.
Well, Shicey Bum. That's what I'm talking about, Shicey. You talk that shit, shorty. You know you want my, and I'll help you get free housing because I ain't gonna take care of it. I'm gonna let you have that baby and go into Section 8. Anyway, as the story progresses, our Payne, you're look. When I deal with black women, I ask, who's the man in her friend list? I have made great contacts and networks with the men and women's friend list. Like shorty sleeping with the dude that sell perfume and cologne in the parking lot of Kroger, but her friend list be like President Obama. I'm like, God damn, so you got President Obama in your friend list? He boozy. Black women don't want good men. They all sleep with the same. It depends on how you see it. The same 20% of men, and they all get knocked up by the same 4% of men. They have to have horrible people. Y'all act like y'all ain't been in high school before.
Yeah.
I don't care what ethnic group you are. All white girls like the Fonz. All black girls like Cochise. White girls grow out that shit at 21, 22 years old. When it's time for them to get their bachelor degree, they're in the engineering department trying to find a man. They're tutoring the athletic department, saying that they can find whoever going pro in football or basketball. Everybody else grows out of that about 20, 21 years old. Black women stick with that toddler stuff until they hit menopause. They 46 years old talking about say ain't no good men out here. All these men. Look, had they approached the girls instead of talking about marriage and creating a legacy, if they would have been like, look, shorty, 666. Think I'm 888. I'm 5'8". I got 8 figures and I got 8 inches. They be, oh yeah, because black women don't want anything of substance. They can't count. So the 6-figure thing, that don't matter. Black girls can't count.
He said they can't count.
They can't count, bro. Look, bro, I've done whole shows on my channel. Girls can't count, bro. They cannot count, bro. So
oh my god,
it's literally something called girl math. Everybody know girls can't count. So it don't matter. I'm just saying, it don't matter.
Count. Everybody can count. They can't assess value. Like call it what
No. That's a different conversation. When girls say they know their worth,
dirty folks,
girls say they know their worth, they really say they know their price.
Can you hear me, dirty folks? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on for a second. I mean, we can go on and on about the
about the counting.
But listen, and looking at these two panels, I can hear where you're coming from. But I think we're going a little bit further than I wanted to go for this particular show. That's all. So I hear where you're coming from. I can't give you a whole bunch of evidence that you're not right on a lot of things. And not because you're saying it. is because I spend enough time in these panels on TikTok. Well, I don't like TikTok, but around the place, and I hear the ladies talk. I hear the ladies talk, but I'm still stuck in the mud, that there are probably a few out there that hide themselves behind the skirts of the bad ones. And there's a few sisters that talk about the difference between a hyena and a lioness. And that's my girl, Crimson Cure, lady, whatever you want to call her. And I still believe the premise that there's some women out there worth fighting for. It's just very hard to find. It's just very hard to find. And and that's just me, but I don't have the same fight some of you guys who are single have. I just don't. I'll admit that part.
We don't have a fight. That's the part you don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We ain't fighting. We ain't fighting shit.
You married men keep trying to push us into a ring that we're not getting in.
Facts.
Well, hold on.
We're not getting into
hold
fight.
On before you accuse me of that. Maybe I misspoke. I'm just saying in general, the reason why I'm acquiescing already, because I don't have that fight. Whether you're fighting or not, I don't have that battle to fight. Whether you're fighting it or not.
And neither do we.
Okay, I'm all right. That's cool. Neither do some of you. But Trey, you're on these panels. There's too many men still fighting. Then
I never said men were smart.
Facts. There's a lot of men still fight, man. But
when it comes to men, there's the smartest. We're at the top of the totem pole, and we're at the bottom. Women are somewhere in the middle, but you have the smartest men and you have the stupidest men. We're somewhere. Everybody else is somewhere in the middle. There's a lot of men out here that are just flat out stupid. I don't know. I've said this a million times. I don't know how much more evidence you need.
Right.
For the last 2 to 3 to 5, 6, 10 years, Black women have shown their ass. I don't know how much more info. What more do you need?
I hear you. I do. I really do, man. And that's why I'm backing off of the shit that I used to say like 6 months ago. So you know what? And I don't envy any of y'all. But y'all got to keep living. If you got to go find somebody outside the race or somebody across seas, because there's Black women all around the world. All of them aren't as tainted as the women in the West. So there it is. We got a couple more minutes. Let me go around last words. We don't have to keep going on this. 30 folks, last words, man.
I wish all you guys good fortune. I understand what y'all saying about not fighting. It's nothing to fight about. They're not wifeable. They're sexable. If you talk to them about sex, they go on. If you're talking about a relationship and responsibilities, they won't. Beige babies for everybody, man. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that.
Hey, man, thanks for coming up, man. Yeah, you've been
Later,
over here
Dirty.
before, right? You've been up here before, right, Dirty?
Hey, nah, man. We used to hang out on
Trigger Mike
Pistol Pete. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, so it's your first time on.
Yeah, it's my first time on your show, man. I saw you though. I rock with you, bro. I was like, oh man, it's my dude. I gotta come support.
Come back, bring your friends, man. The BMU Network. All right,
I got you, bro.
Yeah, Reckless, what you got, man?
Man, I'm not gonna say there's no hope, but I'm gonna say this: I for damn sure ain't walking the earth with my head down, getting browbeat by these chicks, just to marry somebody so that the sisterhood cannot tell me my mama Black, bro. It just ain't happening. I ain't the one. I work too hard. I'm a have fun, free agent lifestyle. It is what it is. It's about finding people who align with your values. And in the places that I'm at, if there just so happens to not be any Black women that are marriageable in those places, then you're just going to deal with what you deal with that are in that same value set, that same tax bracket, that same group of people pool. It just is what it is. And it as this moves forward and as this progresses and gets worse, because it's going to get worse because it's a self-reinforcing curse at this point, because they big each other up. They hype each other up. They love this. They like the back and forth. They like pretending like they're against the men. They're against the worst men. That's who's actually competing with them, because those of us who don't have to aren't. We just aren't. Like Trey said, like those of us who have options, and then that's the reason when we do date out and they see us, they got a smirk. They want to get a stronger jawline than what they already got. They want to look and talk about your mama Black, because we're the men that they say that they want. And then when we're dating out, they're competing with losers, and they know they're competing with losers, which is why this whole gender war is dumb to begin with, because like they're arguing and fighting with the bottom of the barrel. They're not fighting with the best of men. They're not advocating their case against the people who have the ability to move and navigate and have the stuff that they want. Those aren't the men that they're dealing with. Those aren't the men that they're competing with. Those aren't the men that they're fighting with, because they're not capable. They're not even in the same circles. They're not in the same rooms. I see zero black women in my day, unless they're working. Like, period. They're not in any of the meetings. They're not building these multi-million-dollar houses. They're not doing any of that shit. Like, I don't see them. They don't exist. So I don't understand how, like it's not even comparable, because you can't compete with me. I don't even see you to compete. I see no one from the sisterhood throughout my day ever in 11 years. So you got to start gauging who you're competing with, because A, we're not trying to compete with you, those of us who are on our purpose. B, if there's nothing to compete with, because like we generally don't see you unless they're going to the club trying to pick y'all up at the bar or whatever. And like, I can't speak for those dudes. I'm not one of them. So, you know, it is what it is. Stuff will sort itself out one way or another. But one thing I do know for sure is all wives are found.
That's true. Go ahead, Trey. What you got, man? Final thoughts still?
High bristophilia. High bristophilia. For black women, that's what black women practice. So therefore, I am not eligible for black women, because they practice high bristophilia. For some of y'all just learned something. For a lot of y'all just learned something. That's a word for you. Go look it up. High bristophilia. I'm done. I'm done with listening to women who don't know how to pick men. It is what it is. There was nothing wrong with the dentist. There's nothing wrong with this plumber. There's nothing wrong with either of these gentlemen. Seem like solid dudes. There's word out that the plumber guy might have a criminal past. Well, that kind of works out, doesn't it, for y'all black women?
That's right. That never was
y'all practice bristophilia.
Yeah,
so it works out if he has a criminal past, because majority of y'all would choose the man who has a criminal past over the man who doesn't. You call him an L7, a square, corny, all types of stuff. So I feel bad for black men who keep putting their energy and effort into a contingent of women who don't want them, don't want us. And I think we have to settle with the fact, I think older men also have to settle with the fact that we're just not wanted by them. They want something different. Let them have it. Let it work out for them. A lot of them are happy right now because some 73-year-old woman got married, so they think there's still a chance. Let them play their cards. Let them try it out. Say, hey, wait till you're 73. See if somebody will marry you at 73. I'm all for letting black women do whatever the hell they want to do, because we know how this ends. They can't seem to see the forest for the trees. Not my fucking problem. Good show though. Okay.
Hey man, thanks for coming up, everybody. Listen, the panel was nice. I was glad that y'all came up. Either man, we go back and forth on a lot of other channels. It was a good one this time. Trey, we know you. Reckless. Hey, Dirty Folks, that was great. Hey, listen, a lot of people in the chat going back and forth, which is cool. World class and Shiesty Bum Travel one, keeping things going, man. Champion, all that kind of stuff I haven't seen in a while. My man Rev Rebel. My man, the world of day. Okay, so there's a lot of different quotes, man. Keep it going if y'all want, but hey, listen, I appreciate that. I think the bubble show is supposed to be fun. This way, we can get to see how people interact, whether it's real, imaginary, real life or not. It's real enough. We had a couple of guys who, on any other circumstance, will probably make at least useful mates. Whether their personalities will work out or not is another story, but they would be useful, right? And the women couldn't take it. I mean, even the ones who popped the balloon, the first thing the guy said, I need a useful woman. The people popping the balloons on that shit. So if you don't want to be useful as a woman, then what good are you, right? A man will never say he doesn't want to be useful, because we live on purpose. Anybody going on in the right direction is purpose driven. That's what we are, purpose driven. Anyway, listen, that's all I have for tonight, Reckless man. Hey man, when's you gonna have another show, man? What's wrong with my cryptos, man? Damn it,
dude. No, my shows. They come out every Wednesday. My regular recorded shows. I've just been getting we've been slammed at work, and I'm back with one fucking leg, dude. I just started walking last week.
I forgot about that.
Like I'm still learning how to walk and stuff, dude. Like I got a lot on my plate, bro. Like I'm coming home, I'm having to ice and take vitamins and shit. Like I just haven't had time. I'm planning on doing one for men's mental health probably next. Oh, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to do one this week. I'm going to throw together the men's mental health one. I'm doing that as soon as we get off here. I'll put it together.
Man. I got someone to go. Hey, listen, anybody, I do a lot of videos on my channel. I have my sports show before BMUs on Wednesday, but I really just put a lot of videos out because the one thing about YouTube that I find is fantastic, the shit that clouds my brains, I could actually make a video and put it out so I can burn the rest of the world with it.
Yep.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
ain't right. You ain't right.
So, hey, listen, good night, everybody. Thanks for the chat, going back and forth. Thanks for the balloon show, Alette, and what's her name? Alette. Yeah, M-U-M, whatever, Amuli, whatever her name is. Thank you for your content. And for that, good night, everybody. Hey, Embrace the Grace is coming up with what's that? Monday Mayhem, and stay around for that at 9:30 Eastern. Later. Take us out of here, being Black Girl.